Where are you sending us?
Well, this is a fun one.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds returns with a new season, now streaming on Paramount+.
You are facing the finest crew in Starfleet.
Boldly go.
Any of these missions could be unlost.
One step closer.
What we are about to do cannot be taken back.
To where it all began.
We've seen a lot of strange new worlds, but we'll never see something like this.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds, new season now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
You know what was a really fun side effect of the Talking Mongoose episodes was that, I mean, I talked about it a little bit on the show, was like watching mongoose, like, battles.
Yeah.
Which is really
of course,
fun.
yeah.
But I started thinking. I'm enraged. But I started thinking about, like, how much more fun tiny animal fights are than big animal fights.
Sure.
Like, I like seeing, like, I was watching this video of a hippo rip apart a bunch of antelopes.
Yeah.
Right? That was cool.
Yeah.
But I kind of I feel like they get tuckered out. They're
Well,
so big.
I am such a fan of the hippo because I think they only kill when they're sad. Don't they seem sad?
You mean like
have
Jeffrey
to always be
Dahmer?
sad, though, because they kill more people in Africa than any other animal.
They are very depressed.
Well, I tell you what, you got to get the Depeche Mode out of the safari. That's they have to stop being saddened by music. But think about how much more fun a hippo fight would be if they were the size of dogs and they could fight for hours.
That's
right?
very
Because
true.
Normally, because them hippos, they, like it's like watching Kissel like struggle with the like if I got a big fucking Great Dane to fight Kissel, that fight's only lasts a couple minutes until Kissel fucking smacks its head against the ground until its brains are a bunch of just like it's like a puddle in his hands.
Well, that could go either way.
It might. But think about if Kissel was the size of a toddler, but still with all his attributes, versus a chicken. That's a fun fight.
Well, now that I think about it, that is a fun fight. Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to Last Podcast on the Left, Relaxed Fit. I am Ben with Marcus.
Hi.
And then we have the Ideas Man, Henry Zabrowski, a chicken-sized Kissel versus a normal-sized chicken. Whoa!
Man,
what do we have going on here? You're like Dusty Rhodes. You're booking the hell out of this match.
I just feel like, because they say, oh, everybody's so sad because we can't go anywhere.
Sure.
But do you know that your imagination can take you anywhere?
That's
and
right.
A book is like a magic carpet.
Yeah, kind of. That you can maybe tear a page out of, smoke a joint with. That would be very nice. Or if you're in solitary confinement, you can make friends out of your own poop. I don't know the rules.
Ben, I'm sure you've been catching up on your reading during this time.
Oh, I love looking at the covers of all my books. I actually did thumb through my Hunter S. Thompson book recently.
Which one?
It's very large.
You don't even remember the title.
He dies at the end.
Is it a book of his letters? His books of letters are really, really interesting. I love hearing his inner workings as a writer. Him and PKD have a very good collection of their correspondence.
Have you ever heard an interview with Hunter S. Thompson's now widowed with his ex-wife, widowed wife? It sounded like he got real boring.
Yeah.
Because all he did was take acid, but he did it alone. And then he constantly was like, I'm working on my memoirs. I'm working on my next big book. And then it was worse than The Shining because he didn't even write a sentence. He just stared out the window and licked his own guns.
He was felled by constant pain. He was in constant pain, and he could not get his shit together towards the end. And he did self-medicate quite a bit.
That's one way of saying it. That's for sure.
Yeah, he self-medicated. He went in there. Yeah, he did. It shows that, unfortunately, I knew a lot of kids like that in high school.
Yeah.
That when they started really getting into acid and mushrooms, and then they just did a life's worth in a semester.
Right.
And at first, they're super interesting. Right? At first, they sound like they really got shit together and stuff. Now one of them works at a gas station. And he can't, and I'm fine with the gas station worker if he was a philosophical gas station worker.
Sure.
But he is essentially a pump.
Actually, if you're a gas station worker, I think you're the front lines of your town. You're the hello guy.
You are technically like the town, not crier,
ambassador.
You're the ambassador.
Yeah.
You're the
ambassador.
gas ambassador. The gassador.
You look out for people. You're like the front, the area where you can go and see people. 'Cause a lot of times, especially when you do a lot of highway driving, there's that first gas station before you get into a town. That's the guy who's seeing who's the new strangers coming to town, and then he can ring the troubadour bell, and the guy comes and writes a quick song about the fucking. I know how little towns work. He comes and he writes his little song about the new guy that's in town. Then he goes and he tells the police, and they go and they fucking kill that guy.
Well, it depends on the person.
It'd be fantastic if every small town had its own Marty Robbins. Come in and sing its own Big Iron. Everyone's got a Big Iron.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got Me Too'd, so that'll happen. Henry, you say that people get more creative in this quarantine, but I had a dream last night where we just all hung out at a bar. It was the most mundane evening that I could ever imagine, and I woke up and I was like, that was so freaking exciting. I ordered a draft beer, and then we were all together, but it was like any other random Tuesday 2019. That's where my brain is now. I feel like I'm getting less creative.
I had a dream that I was in the Doom Patrol. It was fucking great.
Doom Patrol?
Yeah, I woke up in a fantastic mood.
Marcus has good, interesting dreams.
Yeah.
He was telling me last night about how, because we did a little, like, we played games next to each other on the couch, but almost silently. It's kind of nice via Zoom. And Marcus was telling me, but he talks about, like, the gray cities and the red cities of his mind that he travels to all the time, deep within his dreamscapes.
Yeah. See, this is why I think all three of us, well, maybe not you, Henry, but I think Marcus, you would do the best in a coma.
Yeah.
Because you gotta just go places in your head. I am trying to learn, because you never know when it's gonna happen. You can get comatose, you can get shy-voed. She just fell in the shower. It can happen any time, and you have to be able to make the world in your own mind.
What we need to, I feel like Terry Schiavo, if she just had like a little megaphone put up near her lips, you might have heard her like, don't fold the phone. But the fact that we don't know. We don't have the technology yet.
Yeah.
We didn't then. It was early 2000s.
We don't. But now we could do. Now we hear corpses screaming all the time.
Absolutely.
I really want to say thank you to our scientists, our first responder scientists, to make sure we can hear the cries of the dead as much as possible. Thank you so much for your service.
I just read an article, as a matter of fact, in, what was it, American Scientific. And they were saying that they can almost tell the emotion of the person in a coma just by their brainwaves. Sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad. They never like to have their feet tickled, though. That's how they're supposed to wake up.
That makes me want to scream.
I know.
The idea of being trapped inside my own body. I was joking about this with Natalie last night. I was doing, because you ever do the thing with your loved one? I think we've talked about this before, where you like pretend to be dead.
Yeah.
Or something just to get a rise out of them.
Before, because you have some bizarre sexual fetish that you have. You guys do corpse play. There's a whole weird thing going on.
It's called drills. That's what we run as drills. But last night I was lying in bed. I was doing the Stephen Hawking where it was like my eyes were open. Just like, and she was like, Henry, stop it. But then I was trying to blink, and I was trying to say, this is a dry run for if I'm in a coma, it's fucking 1 blink for yes, 2 blinks for no, 3 blinks, show me your breasts.
Well, I don't know if you're ever going to get to 3 blinks when she tapes your eyeballs open. Why would she ever want to know what you're thinking?
Well, there's always just, who knows what kind of thoughts in there. I wish I could dream. I wonder if it's my weed in gestation.
You can't dream?
Yeah, it's definitely your weed in gestation. The more weed you smoke, the less dreams you have. I know that was always, when I was smoking a lot of weed, I never dreamed. But, now that I don't smoke weed anymore, like, I I got some fucking dreams. I could go into the fucking gray town and the red city and the tunnel of briars and all the places that I visit in my dreams.
I have some blood on my hands if you're just judging me by my dreams.
No, I know. You have said, you've dreamed horrible things.
Yeah.
The closest I've ever had, I had a dream recently that I was with a panel of scientists, and the panel of scientists were doing like a kiss study where they're making people that don't want to kiss and see what it does to their brain waves.
Was it just the dude who works at MSG, Madison Square Garden who runs the kiss cam and he gets off on watching what obvious friends kiss on camera?
I mean, who knows what it takes to spark that little bit of
You never
Tinder?
know.
Sometimes. You never know how much you're going to love your best friend to your kiss, which is why I'm glad we've never kissed.
Not
because
yet.
I just don't want it to ever just find out that it just makes us hard as fuck.
You know what I just found out? If I was an undercover detective, I'm sent to bust the biggest pedophile ring in the history of pedophile rings.
Gotcha.
I'm doing kiss cams. Nothing but dudes and children. Yeah, they kiss. If he goes full Joe Biden, he's guilty. As charged. End the game.
The reaction of a stadium, right? Kiss cam, you got normal couples, cuts to
romance.
old man, little boy, and he sees it, he points up, he's like, oh, look, leans over, fucking French kisses this little boy. Just the silence, the stadium just going dead right now. The one FBI dude up in the fucking telecom office going like, yes,
yes, got one. Yes, I knew they were going to kiss. That is a hell of a way to bust these pedophiles. Also, a small documentary recommendation, After Truth, very good. Speaking of pedophiles, they talk about the dude who broke into Comet Pizza, and that story is very sad because he really thought there was going to be a pedophile ring. He found nothing whatsoever, obviously, and he was a bit disillusioned. So be careful what you fall into out there, folks. Don't get in the YouTube holes.
Yeah. Remember, the YouTube algorithm is being given to you.
Yeah.
All right. Every single time you watch a video and you see all these requested videos, you're not researching.
No.
That is YouTube's decades of research into figuring out how to manipulate your brain. It is right. And trying to give you technically what you want, which is they're just going to keep leading you down the hole. I watched a chunk of Plandemic. Plandemic is wrong. It is entirely wrong. It has been thoroughly debunked. But I could see if you've been watching for several hours and you've been up all night, you're like, this random woman has finally cracked the fucking case here. I've been there. I've been with you.
Yeah,
you never know.
It's like we talked about on the Flat Earth series. The guy that was, of course, he was an Iraq War veteran. He'd seen the lies behind that whole war. He'd gotten into YouTube one day and just start watching one Flat Earth video and then another and then another and then another. And since he'd been lied to by his government so many times, he thought, "What the fuck else are they lying to me about?"
Sure.
And he fell fully into the Flat Earth conspiracy, and he is now a full-on Flat Earther.
Well, you tell me, why isn't Puffin rolling right now? It doesn't seem that round to me.
Do I trust the books or do I trust my eyes?
The eyes. Sometimes the eyes lie too, man.
The only flat earther that I will ever have respect for is the dude who made the rocket. Yes, he died.
Yeah.
I understand he died. But he
unrelated incident, though.
Unrelated. And he did it. He made the rocket. I'm like, all right, bro, you go. You do you.
He put his money where his mouth is.
Yes, he did.
He kept saying, I don't believe in the curve. I want to see it for myself. He saw it once. Okay. He refused to believe that he did see it once. Then he said, though, that he wants to go back up there again, that he has to double check. I mean, I get it. I've been there. How many times? Now that I've lost my belt from fucking Gremlins, I fucking check for my belt 3 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Waste of time.
Well, that is a perfect segue here. Speaking of myths, misconceptions, perhaps lies, Marcus has put together a hell of a story here. Now, we're talking more giants. Is that right?
We are. This is a continuation of our giant humanoid series, but this is the tale of one of those giant humanoids that ended up being a full-on hoax.
I refuse to believe it's a hoax. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the documents.
That's all you got to do. Now it's not a hoax anymore.
See, that's what's called. That's called the beginning of Plandemic.
Well, throughout the decades and centuries, entertainment mediums have gone through many different bizarre iterations. And back in the 1800s, one of the most popular forms of entertainment was the circus sideshow.
Yay!
Why isn't it still?
They have all these workers' rights.
No, it really was television and movies.
That was it?
That was it.
It
yeah.
wasn't the concern for the fat man or the little person or the woman with the beard?
Absolutely not. It was actually mostly movies. Movies mostly killed like the sideshows and the circus and all that type of shit. There was just more money in the entertainment of movies.
Thanks, Charlie Chaplin.
Now all of that shit moved to friggin' TLC. TLC is now a circus sideshow where they just do the drama of the unfortunate everybody on that channel needs a reach out.
Yeah, I know it. I love looking at my 600-pound life. It is a beautiful, beautiful show in its own way.
Mm-hmm. It's really just the story of a bunch of feeder gainers.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of gives me hives when I watch it because I have dreams. I have one reoccurring nightmare I have had, so I wake up with a big orangutan face.
Like
don't
Martin
you fucking
Short and
joke.
Pure Luck. I love
God
it.
damn it.
I love it. My face swollen.
Well, just like cop dramas, superheroes, and fantasy stories go in and out of vogue in the TV and movie realm, the different acts in the sideshows of yore were also subject to the ebb and flow of popularity. Back then, singing conjoined twins might have top billing one year, while the biggest acts the next season would be people with no arms playing musical instruments with their feet. And then those acts would lose the top spot to the sideshow geek.
See, sideshow geeks are a lot of fun, but honestly, why can't they all just be together in one big old band? I'd love to see a geek being backed up by a guy playing fucking drums with his feet. That's a great afternoon. That's a wonderful Friday night.
All right, well, what's a sideshow geek? It's not just Screech from Saved by the Bell. It's not just someone who likes to read all the square movies that are words, aka books.
Well, geeks were among the most bizarre of sideshow acts, and usually involved either a vagrant man or woman wandering a dark pit dressed in rags, waiting for the barker to throw down live chickens or snakes, which the geek would hungrily devour raw and alive in the most vicious and cruel ways possible.
And if you want to read about the spiritual evolution of a geek, read the book Nightmare Alley, which is the book that Anton LaVey essentially stole his entire life story from. And it's also going to be a new Guillermo del Toro movie, which I would say I want to see. It's going to be very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
But Nightmare Alley is a very, very important book to esoteria.
Well,
interesting.
Well, usually the circus sideshows would just kind of sweep the back alleys of major cities looking for vagrants, mostly drunks, dudes who would essentially debase themselves in exchange for a quart of booze.
All right, much like the great docu-series Bum Fights.
Yeah, it's actually a lot like Bum Fights,
Oh.
except this was just a guy in a pit biting the heads off of chickens.
See, now I miss Coney Island. I like to play that game Shoot the Freak, although I found that the gun, it ain't aimed right. The gun ain't aimed right, so you can't ever shoot the damn guy.
Those poor 17-year-olds that were made to be the freaks and shoot the freak. I mean, how many times you'd go in there, like, they'd have, like, a cup on.
Yeah.
Because, naturally, we're all shooting for the dick.
Of course.
Just so you don't know, Shoot the Freak used to be an old sideshow thing that used to be on Coney Island, if you don't know, where a 16 or 17-year-old in body armor used to run with a shield from, like, coverage point to coverage point. Well, you got a paintball gun and you could just shoot at him. It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was
But they're
2015 I played it.
Yeah, and he'd
They're
yell
dick
shit
and
at you.
balls.
He'd
Yeah, he was
yell
mean.
insults. The technical name for that sideshow act is the bozo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that would, because that is kind of a continuation of like the dunking booth type thing, where you'd have the clown sitting on the dunking booth and he'd roast whoever came by, and then you'd try to dunk him into the booth. It's known as a bozo.
Bozo the Clown? Not
But if you
a
notice,
pedophile.
not a pedophile. But if you noticed, that fucking crotch armor was just plastered with paintball guns.
But for a brief period in the late 1800s, the hottest commodity in the sideshow game wasn't a human act at all. Rather, the public's attention was drawn towards the cold stillness of the giant petrified man. And no petrified man drew bigger crowds than the Cardiff Giant.
Cool.
Building off our giant humanoids episode, the Cardiff Giant was an admitted hoax from the late 19th century involving a 10-foot-tall man made out of stone that was billed as the ancient petrified remains of an antediluvian giant.
I tell you what, they didn't skimp on the dick on that thing.
Definitely
I actually
not.
was really, I wonder if the guy who put it all together was like, and it's modeled after me. And you're like, I don't know.
Just wondering why his wife keeps on slowly backing up into it over and over and over again as she screams in orgasm.
Well, hailing from Cardiff, New York, the eponymous giant was the creation of a tobacconist and militant atheist named George Hull. And Hull initially cooked up this entire scheme with no other motivation than pure spite.
It's so powerful. The power of spite in the world of hoaxes is absolutely fascinating. I did a little bit of research that I'm going to save for an episode about the what's so-called surgeon's photograph from the Loch Ness Monster, the famous photo of the Loch Ness Monster popping its head out of the lake, right? That was created by a man named Marmaduke Weatherelf. We're going to get into this whole story. Best name in the world.
Yes.
Best name I've ever heard. But there's a whole story about how he did that just specifically to give the Daily Mail a fucking finger.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're watching the docuseries The Last Dance on the Chicago Bulls, yes, they still beat the New York Knicks, and I'm still very upset about it. But spite is a great motivator.
Spite is the whole reason why I'm sitting in this seat right now. Spite is my biggest motivator. Always has been.
You always need a Jerry Krause to hate. You always need one. And if you don't have a Jerry Krause, make one up. You can just do that and get angry, and then you can win.
Well, here's this story of spite.
Okay.
George Hull had been visiting his brother in Iowa and had found himself in an argument with a Methodist revivalist who had been quoting the verse from the book of Genesis that claimed that giants once roamed the earth.
You got to put butts in seats.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You got to give them a hook.
Absolutely.
Well, Hull naturally thought this claim was ridiculous. So ridiculous, in fact, that he stewed on his argument with the Methodist reverend for days, finding himself entirely unable to let it go.
I love it.
You think there's somebody bigger than me? You tell me there's somebody bigger than me? There's nothing bigger than tobacco.
Chewing on his own hat.
Thank God I got this hat made out of tobacco leaves. I honestly find that it's very interesting that he learned early on in developing the cigarette industry that there is no God.
Absolutely not. Well, eventually, Hull decided that the only way out of his frustrating predicament was to publicly humiliate all those who believed in literal interpretations of the Bible. So he vowed to create his own human giant and pass it off as a genuine fossil dug out of the earth.
I love it.
But then what began was an incredible art project.
Yeah, of course.
In order to achieve this goal, Hull devoted an unreasonable amount of time, energy, and patience to building this man-made monument to spite. Overall, Hull would spend 3 years of his life just preparing the hoax.
Everyone always wonders, what's in the mind of an artist? And it is just this sentence. Yeah, this'll show him. This'll show him. Yeah, this'll show him.
Yeah, you tell fucking giants. I give them fucking giants. I'll give them a fucking giant. Look how nice this fucking giant's legs are. Look how detailed this giant's fucking hands are. This is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home. I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You gotta get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp. the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. So let's take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Hey there, everybody. Is your cell phone bill too much money? Are you getting that bill and you're like, hey, what is this? I can't believe for what? For 5G? Are you crazy right now? $100? I don't even barely got any bars when I'm just sitting in my living room, okay? You don't have to deal with that anymore. Are you ready for this? $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month on Mint Mobile. Yeah, baby. Get their wireless plan, because they're just sitting there on the T-Mobile 5G network, and it's just $15. Your whole life, you're just paying all this money every month. You're like, why? Where's it going? It's going to these phone companies that are robbing you. So go to Mint Mobile. Let them help you talk to your mom. So get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when the network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabytes hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
See, Hull needed the giant to be quote-unquote discovered in New York State, where he lived. But he knew that using local craftsmen to construct the giant would most likely result in the secret disseminating itself before Hull even got the hoax in the ground.
Yeah, man, fucking H.H. Holmes it.
Yep.
Also, fucking wall facers it. You can't let anybody know. You have to be the only person to hold the entire plan in your mind, which is what I'm preparing for.
Absolutely.
For what I call my end plans.
Yeah, what's the number 3 step in your end plan?
Get people to trust mailboxes again.
Well, Hull went back to Iowa, where the initial argument had taken place, because he went from Iowa back to New York State. This is like 1868.
Oh my
God! So he's taking a train all the way back to New York State, thinking about this shit, stewing on this shit, and then finally
I can't make a fucking giant? You think I can't fucking make a fucking giant? I'll make a giant with a shirt on. I'll make a giant with a fucking hat on.
And so he traveled all the way back to Iowa, where the initial argument had taken place. We're talking days of travel here.
Oh my God.
And hired a team of men to quarry out an 11-foot-long block of gypsum, telling the workers that the stone was for a new Abraham Lincoln monument going up in New York State.
Oh. Yeah, I need enough fucking room for a stupid fucking pipe hat. Stupid big old stovepipe hat, all right? Yes, quit asking questions or I'm going to smack your neck, all right? Give me that gypsum.
I was just looking at his death mask recently, Abraham Lincoln's.
It's cool, right?
Very thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you preparing for yours?
No, they don't do death masks anymore, I don't think.
Oh, come on. Go on Etsy.
Yeah.
Well, Hull then had the stone shipped by train to Chicago, where a German stonecutter, sworn to secrecy, was commissioned to sculpt Hull's giant.
Cool.
After carving it, the craftsman then artificially aged it with acid and even used a special tool to give the giant the appearance of having pores.
That's so fucking... Look how fucking detailed it is. Yeah, look at the little fucking sleepy smile on his face. I love this fucking giant. I love his attitude. I love what he's doing.
Cool-ass giant.
After it was done, Hull then shipped the finished project by rail to Binghamton,
Binghamton.
Upstate New York. So to track it again. He went from New York to Iowa, back to New York. He went to Chicago now to Binghamton. So he has crisscrossed the country 3 times.
It's all because of a revivalist preacher.
And an argument that probably lasted 30 minutes.
Wow.
He then lugged the 3,000-pound statue upstate to Cardiff and buried it on a farm owned by his cousin, Stub Newell, who was in on the whole scheme.
Oh, Stub. He always is in on the scheme, but he never has any idea what's happening.
And I tell you what, I'm so glad to bury another tall man. They wouldn't let me on the first ever basketball team. And I said, yeah, you might all be some tall whites, but how about me? I'm shaped like a ball.
Oh, Stub, you're doing good, bud.
Hull then waited an entire year to let the statue settle into the ground because it had to look real.
So this is what now? We're at 5 years in this master plan?
We're at about, it took him about 2 years to get the whole thing made, get the gypsum out, get the fucking thing sculpted, get it shipped back to Binghamton, and then he buried it and waited another year.
I love this guy.
It's the power of patience. I think that we don't have it as much. I think that people, when they talk about their amazement about the giant ancient sculptures and structures that we find, like Göbekli Tepe, like I was listening to a Coast to Coast on architectural hoaxes, stuff about like the lost tribes of Israel, about how somebody had just buried a fucking tablet with Hebrew on it in New Mexico and say like, this shows that New Mexico actually belongs to the Jews. I mean, they could have it if they want it, but
Absolutely.
they got to show up because it turns out that's a hoax. I don't know. I'm not quite certain, but you have to have patience. I don't think we have the patience anymore to do architectural hoaxes anymore, or even giant architectural things. It takes thousands of years and artists to build something like the pyramids.
Well, when the giant was deemed ripe for discovery, Hull's cousin Stub instructed 2 unwitting workers to dig a well right on the spot where the giant was buried. Sure enough, 3 feet down, the men discovered something in the shape of a foot.
Cool.
And once a little more dirt was cleared away, one of the workers exclaimed,
"I declare, some old Indian has been buried here."
Whoa!
And upon further inspection, these men uncovered the 10-foot-tall statue, and of course, Stub Newell made sure to nudge the men in the direction that this was not a statue at all, but could, quite possibly, be the remains of an ancient lost race.
Yeah, take a look at the fucking pores. Take a look at the fucking arms, right? See how detailed this shit is, right? Look at this fucking giant, huh? This is wild, huh? Yeah, I got one, huh? Yeah, right, there's the proof right there.
Stub is also doing a great job being the narrator for Ancient Aliens. Or could it be? Very fun. If you are these guys, yes, you're sent out to dig a well. What's more boring than that? I mean, other than you love to dig your holes.
It'd be fun to
kind
look
of
at
exciting.
the architecture of digging it and how to keep it from collapsing and all that.
See, look
those
at this.
guys, that's a gift for those guys. How excited would we all be, even if it's fake?
Yeah.
You get to believe that it's real for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they just found the biggest archaeological thing since the Ark.
Yeah.
No, I always feel bad for those. I always feel bad for the recently fooled because I get it. I want it all to be real too. I want the giants to be real. You just like a little toddler compared to the real fucking giants, Kissel. I want a real one. I want one protecting my home. I want one going to the grocery store for me, and I want one destroying my enemies for me. And it makes me mad that I can't get one. So I understand where these people are come from. That kind of heartbreak.
Mm-hmm. See, if you would have just said that in your audition for Dr. Robotnik, you would have beat out Jim Carrey, who was too thin to play the role.
Way too thin. Well, considering how giant bones were being discovered all over the country during this time, remember we talked all about it in our Giant Humanoids episode, and since the general public didn't really understand science all that well, it wasn't much of a stretch to think that a giant could have quite possibly found itself petrified whole.
You know, I mean, if giants are already real, then what's the extra step of believing, and they also turn into perfectly stone replicas of their own bodies when they die?
Yeah. Sure. Well, you had petrified wood. Everyone knew that petrified wood existed by this time. So it's one of those things where you can make the logical just like, well, if an organic material such as wood can be turned to stone, then possibly organic material such as flesh could possibly also be turned into stone.
Sounds reasonable to me, and I'm just a guy in a random-ass bar.
I absolutely love this discussion, and Brenda, will you bend over forth to show us your nethers once more? Ah, what a wonderful day.
Yeah, you want to see my petrified butthole?
Brenda, you have changed since the war.
Yeah, I lost my butthole in the war. Got shot off by a sniper about 400 miles away, about 400 yards away.
Now, by the time the workers suitably spread the word amongst the locals, Stub Newell had already set up a tent and was soon charging 50 cents per person to view the so-called ancient humanoid.
Damn, pricey ticket.
1869, that's a pretty pricey ticket. Well, he started off charging 25 cents, but so many people came on the first 2 days that he doubled the price.
Damn.
Now, the scientific community immediately recognized it as a statue, and not a very good one at that.
Oh, who's listening to these so-called scientists?
But George Hull didn't care about fooling the scientific community. He could give less of a fuck. His only goal was fooling the clergy. And in this goal, George Hull was absolutely successful. The pastor of the largest church in Syracuse visited the Cardiff giant and fell for the scam completely, and wondered aloud if perhaps this was one of the giants mentioned in Scripture.
And you could see that moment, right? Where he's sitting there and he's just like, this is one of the giants. Yes, finally proof. And there's Hall like, yeah, is it? Yeah. Is it? Like so ready. He's like, what is he going to finally be in like, fooled you, like from Spaceballs.
So it's just a long episode of Punk'd with Ashton Kutcher. What a
I'm gonna fucking gotcha, you fucking bitch.
But by this point, Hull's spite had been overtaken by the vast amount of coin earned from the attraction.
Hey, all right.
So instead of revealing it all as a hoax, he just sort of let it ride for as long as he could.
It's not up to him to make people he can't decide what people are going to think.
Yeah.
He just buried a statue, called it a giant.
But it also shows how, like, something just out of spite, his side hustle, a whole other side of thing, it turned into his main gig.
Yeah.
Just by fucking, he built the special. He didn't understand at the time. I just joined the tourism industry.
He did.
Up until then, he was trying to do some big art thing, but that's what happens. Sometimes you just make money on accident.
You put it right by the world's largest ball of yarn. You put it right by the huge cheese wheel.
Yep.
I mean, people love big things. There's that big needle and thread over there in downtown Manhattan that people like to take pictures by.
Or in the fashion district.
Sure.
But this is also one of those precarious things where, like, well, is George Hull a sellout? Is he a shill for Big Giant?
Maybe.
I mean, there will be some people who think that sure. Because George Hull strayed from his original path of poning the clergy, because he decided to make money instead, yes, there will be some in the atheist community that will call him a sellout. But I'd say fucking go for it, George.
Yeah.
This is like fucking Green Day made that musical.
Oh, it's not about selling out. It's about buying in, okay? Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Shark Tank.
Call me a squirrel, because I'm covered in acorns. That's right. So many people are focused on where their money is today. And Acorns is the financial wellness app that cares about where your money is going tomorrow. Let Acorns work for you. You put acorns in the ground and you're gonna get trees tomorrow. That's right, investments. And with the Acorns potential screen, you could find out what your money is capable of. I always do that. I'm like, I want to invest in something that I like. Let's say cheeseburgers. Okay? That's kind of hard to do. Acorns will help you find a cheeseburger that is right for you. So sign up now, and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment. Wow! Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/left or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Potential subject to various factors such as customer
customers' accounts, age, and investment settings. Does not include Acorn's fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorn's portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/left.
You know, I rip around in the bed. You might actually not be surprised by this, but I'm a restless sleeper. I roll back and forth like an alligator with a wounded deer. But something's changed in my house, and it's thanks to Boll and Branch. You know, people keep their bedding way longer than they should. It's because people are afraid of change. Not me. I burn my sheets once a week, but I don't need to, because Boll and Branch's signature organic cotton sheets, pillows, blankets, and comforters are all designed to be breathable, incredibly soft. They get better over time. Start with the signature sheets. You're going to buy 2 sets so you can rotate them. Come on, you're going to want to. The moment you get into bed, you'll notice a difference. I know I did. I just got fresh from the bath. I was fully lotioned. And sliding into those sheets kind of felt like, to be honest, I felt like the luckiest pasta filling in the whole world. All right, they're really good. You will like them. You will feel like a brand new laid chicken. Which is, we're all going for it. Just trying to be a hot chick again. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/left with code LEFT. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/left. Code LEFT to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/left, code LEFT. Exclusions apply. It's obvious we love true crime, but it does make us feel a little paranoid about what's out there, as it should. And that's why it's so important to get a home security system that gives you peace of mind. With Simply Safe, you can stop crimes before they even start using their AI-powered cameras to identify threats on your property and alert US-based live agents to take action. Like arriving in a helicopter in the night, coming down from the helicopter, zipping down and breaking through the windows with their big axes, and going through the house, ripping through the walls, finding the criminals. It's easy to do. Simply Safe has been a game changer for us. And the best part, there's no long-term contract. We've used it since the very early days of Simply Safe here at LPN, and it keeps us safe, doesn't it? It keeps all of our thoughts inside the building. Then there's the ones we let out because they have to go out, because that's a part of it. But Simply Safe keeps the other thoughts safe. And for that, we say thank you, Simply Safe. And we want you to experience the same peace of mind as we, which is why we've partnered with Simply Safe to offer an exclusive discount to all of our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now, Stub Newell was not as good at keeping a secret as George Hull was.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yep, and it wasn't long before Stub started letting the story slip to friends and neighbors. He was just too good of a secret.
But the thing is, the joy is in the secret.
Yeah.
This is what Stub didn't realize how much leverage he just gave away with that information.
That's why sometimes as a business owner, like, nowadays we have fucking NDAs, but at the time they used to fucking get degree shoots going. Remember H.H. Holmes? Sometimes you gotta X out some of these loose ends if you want to have a good old-fashioned petrified giant fucking industry cornered. If you want that shit, you gotta lock up.
So you're saying he should have shot Stub the way that the cousin of what was the tall guy from Of Mice and Men?
Lenny
was shot. Those bastards.
He deserved it.
He did not deserve it. No, he was given free massages. He did not kill that woman.
He killed that poor girl.
He did not kill that woman. The massage killed that woman. It happened to be attached to his hands.
Interesting. You could have been a defense attorney if you could learn. You would be an incredible defense attorney.
I took law classes in college. Not guilty, I would say.
I'm not saying he should have killed Stub, but he definitely could have killed
Push him over. He can't get up.
Oh, my belly's bigger than my feet.
Oh, man, I'm going to starve here.
Man, no.
Before the cat was completely out of the bag, Hull cashed out and sold the giant to a syndicate of businessmen.
Woo. Fucking woo.
This is back when like buying a sideshow attraction was a legitimate investment.
Cool.
I wish if you got an act, send it to sidestorieslpotl@gmail.com. We'll try to figure out, like, how do we bring it on the road with us?
The closest thing that we had in our lifetime, because of Star, we will never see Charles Manson stuffed and paraded around the streets as he should have been. She broke his heart. She broke his heart for the last time.
And all she had to do was touch it once.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If she just reach under the table and give a little touch to the end of the tip, Charles Manson would be like, all right, just take my body. Like, he could have just. That would have been incredible.
It would have been great.
And if you had any doubt that sideshows were legitimate sources of revenue back in the late 19th century, Hull was able to negotiate $23,000 from the business syndicate, which in today's money is $500,000.
Dude, this guy faked it till he made it.
Made it big.
Damn.
Is there any saying how much he invested?
I don't know how much he invested, but I would imagine maybe $2,000 or $3,000.
It would have to be some. It must be a pricey ticket at that point.
Well, I mean,
how much is
he had to buy the big block of gypsum. He
And
had
travel.
Yeah.
And the man hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he definitely sunk a lot of money into a thing that was not going to make a profit at all.
And I mean, he had to hire the guys who had to dig the well, but they were just paid in soup because that was also how you would pay people in the 1800s.
Well, the syndicate brought the Cardiff Giant up out of its hole and started touring it around towns, big and small, around upstate New York.
Cool.
But as the Cardiff Giant started making waves closer to New York City, the greatest American flim-flam man until L. Ron Hubbard caught wind of this new type of attraction. And before the syndicate knew it, P.T. Barnum was getting into the petrified giant game.
Whoa.
Got to, man. You can't be the only ones out of the fucking game. Gotta get your skin in there, bro.
Mm-hmm. So P.T. Barnum is the Amazon in this situation? Is he going to be crushing this small guy?
P.T. Barnum, when it comes to sideshow attractions and just when it comes to entertainment in general, like P.T. Barnum was the top guy in New York City and pretty much the top guy in the East Coast. Like P.T. Barnum had the fucking market cornered. He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing at all times when it came to sideshow attractions. He was the man that was such a visionary that he took a monkey and a fish.
Whoa.
He cut the top off of the fish, the bottom off of the monkey, sewed the monkey onto the fish, and displayed it as Fiji the mermaid.
Take my money, because I am seeing that right now.
Do you remember we saw one? We saw one of the faked mermaids. I believe that was in the British Museum.
Yeah.
And we went, that was cool as hell. But they look fun. I would pay money to go see them. Even now, I would pay money to go see it.
I went to the one in Coney Island. The smell. I love it. I love the smell. I love it's just disgusting.
Now, at first, Barnum just tried buying the giant outright, offering the syndicate the modern equivalent of $1 million for the right to exclusively exhibit the attraction in his so-called American Museum located in what is now the financial district of Manhattan.
Okay.
It's like, you know that park where City Hall is?
Yes, sir.
Right at the bottom of that park. That's where Barnum's American Museum was.
And it was that Battery Park?
No, it's not. It's a little bit west of Battery, or it's a little bit east of Battery Park.
Let's get into more locations of Manhattan, shall we?
I miss it. I miss going to Manhattan.
I do too.
You get down there on the R train, right? You could take the L over to Union Square. You take the R down, right? You could do one of those. You could take a Q down, I guess.
No, you're going to want to do the 4-5. That's your express. Don't get stuck on the 6. That's your local.
But no, best way to do it, take the L to 14th Street, take the 5 down to Brooklyn Bridge, and you get a nice walk right past City Hall. It's a nice, real view.
So you think she's gonna come back to me, or do you think, like, I don't know? Anyway,
no, dude, she's dead, dude.
Oh, all right.
Well, the American Museum was a fucking wonderful place. It's one of those places where if I could time travel and go to like one location, the American Museum would be on the list. It was like just a complex of entertainment for the time.
Awesome.
But when the syndicate declined the offer from Barnum, the $1 million offer, that meant that they thought, we're going to be able to tour this fucking thing across the country and make well over $1 million. Like, I mean, it would be like, I think it was the equivalent of $50,000. But like, yeah, we're going to make $50,000 50 cents at a time.
I just sell the damn thing.
But when they didn't sell it, Barnum out-flim-flammed the flim-flammers by sending an undercover agent to the Cardiff Giant exhibition to model the giant's exact shape and appearance using a lump of wax.
Oh my God.
Barnum,
we'll make it. You know what? That was I was thinking. I was going to send you all this. We're going to send you a bunch of money. We're going to do this in a fun way. Name's P.T. Barnum. We're going to do all this. But I think instead we're going to make one. Tell you go fuck yourself.
He outflanked the Flim Flam men.
Barnum then copied the exact measurements of the giant, which were clearly stated in the attraction's newspaper ads. They said exactly how wide it was, exactly how tall it was.
Oh my God, it's like putting the fucking KFC secret ingredient in the fucking newspaper.
Turns out it's chicken.
And Barnum made an exact replica out of plaster, which was much cheaper and more quickly made than stone. But he was able to make it look exactly the same. And even though it was not quite as impressive as the original, before the syndicate knew it, Barnum had put his version on display at the American Museum and billed it as the real Cardiff Giant, drawing even bigger crowds than the genuine article.
Man, that fast, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They should have just taken the offer.
And of course, the syndicate sued, but once the whole kerfuffle made its way to the court, the Cardiff Giant's originator, George Hull, was brought to the stand to testify on the giant's provenance.
If you're a Flim Flam man, if you are a Flim Flam man, the last thing you want to do is be under oath. That is not going to be good for you.
But I almost want to say a Flim Flam man is never under oath. It's like they are kind of like submerged in oath, and they will just sort of rise to the surface above oath as much as they can. They're looking for air.
Yeah,
at
I can
every
see
second.
that. Sure.
But can you imagine George Hull, right? The ultimate stick up his ass fucking nerd. He spent 3 years building this giant just to tell a priest to go fuck himself. So now he gets to go into a court like big fucking feather in his hat, you know what I mean? Being like, ha ha ha, friends upon friends upon friends. It's time to really get into the story of the Cardiff Giant. Just so excited, right? Yeah. It's his time to shine.
Yeah. He's the star.
And he'd already gotten paid. You know, he'd got his $23,000 for the fucking Cardiff Giant. He'd gotten paid. He didn't give a fuck.
Nope.
So he laid out the entire thing in court. And eventually they ruled for Barnum. You know, like, well, it's a hoax. If it's a hoax, if it's just an invention, and you didn't trademark it, you didn't copyright it or anything like that, then yeah, he can do it.
PT, but that's a bastard move by Mr. Barnum.
Well, it's sort of like, you know, what will eventually happen when, like, Kristen Bell makes a true crime podcast and says, like, the only true crime podcast, the oldest and longest running true crime podcast. And we're like, oh, man, Kristen Bell, leave our industry alone.
Wow, I didn't know Kristen Bell had a podcast. I definitely listen to that. She's very pretty.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta.
No.
What's that? Oh, she needs a co-host. Isn't that exciting? I'm gonna audition.
No, Kissel, stop. No.
But George Hull had learned an important lesson in flim-flammery. Instead of returning to the tobacco business, Hull traveled out west to find a whole new group of rubes who hadn't heard about the whole Cardiff Giant hoax.
This is when you could just move and you could leave all your problems. You could actually do that at some point in this world.
I mean, we could do it now, but
where?
The only places we can go to, I mean,
Jakarta,
Haiti, you know,
maybe Haiti.
We could go down. We could go to Madagascar. You could go to there's not a lot of people asking a heck of a lot of questions in Iran right now. If you can get over there, like you can just kind of get over there and be like, hey guys, I'm here.
Yeah,
name's
true.
Ronald McDonald.
Wow.
Out in Colorado, Hull worked with a former employee of P.T. Barnum to create another giant that he called the Solid Muldoon.
Do not ever go to the doctor and say that you have that. They will make you take a dump in front of them.
I'm always looking for a solid Muldoon, but I was just stuck with a real runny Muldoon this morning that I was pretty upset about.
Named after a famous strongman named Bill Muldoon, the Solid Muldoon was made of rock dust, clay, plaster, ground bones, blood, and meat that had all been mixed together, sculpted, and fired in a kiln.
By horror movie logic, this would come to life.
Yes.
That's cool. Like making a fucking golem.
That's awesome.
It's the golem, right? All you need, I think it's like blood and cum and a rabbi. And now you have a rock slave.
That's pretty awesome.
Then, probably going off the advice of the former Barnum employee, Hull added a small bit of flair and gave the solid Muldoon a tail.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting... You don't really think of giants with tails too often, but all right.
Well, apparently Hull was like a big reader of Charles Darwin, so he was getting into the whole evolution thing at the time. So he was thinking like, perhaps, using some scientific flammery, like perhaps the men in the olden times had evolved from a different beast which had a tail and was of giant stature and size.
And with any luck, they could just pretend as if it's tucked its penis between its legs and it's making itself a vagina in the front and giving itself a dick tail.
I'm a pretty lady.
You are a pretty lady. Oh my God, come here, you giant Muldoon.
My wife has asked me to stop building giants because I keep falling desperately in love with them. That's creative thinking, though.
Yeah. It really is. Like,
would that be cheating? Do you think it would be cheating? A bit of a side note, but if someone fell in love with like their real sex doll, like, do you think that might break up a marriage? I guess. Could you fall in love with a statue?
This is becoming a thing. We should discover. We should look into that because there's obviously people have relationships with objects. I mean, we covered. Remember the story we covered about the guy that was posting with his real doll wife?
That's right.
That he was on Side Stories. We covered the story, but he was with his real doll wife, and he staged a pregnancy where he did all these Facebook pictures of a baby coming out of her pussy and all this kind of stuff, and then she disappeared, and then Facebook flipped out about the disappearance of his real doll wife and created a "Where is Stephanie?" like looking for her, like true crime style. You know, let's dig up the location of this woman, like Shelley Miskovich.
Not to be too producer of Maury Povich here, but if you are or you know someone who has left their husband or wife because of a real doll or statue, sidestorieslpotl@gmail.com. Let us know.
We've had this conversation in our household. I am not allowed to have sex with a robot or a real doll of any
What
kind.
about the fleshlight?
The fleshlight's fine.
Well, this is the thing. In my mind, is it better to have something that has no body, right? Because I think that's where Marcus is angling towards.
Right.
That has no breasts and no butt and no legs, right? So you're not having sex with a full-on fake woman. But if you just have a machine that sucks your dick, that's not cheating.
It sounds like that's off the table for the Parks household.
Yeah, because it's a sex robot. If the machine as long as I'm doing most of the work here, and as long as it doesn't have a face, totally on board.
Well,
what is Carolina? Is she Amish or something?
Well, the whole thing about the solid Muldoon all came crashing down after a disgruntled insider blew the whistle on Hull. And Hull got out of the petrified giant business forever. But perhaps not so surprisingly, the success of the Cardiff Giant and of the solid Muldoon inspired nearly a dozen more petrified giant discoveries.
They're everywhere. I'm going to say the word hookers in the trunk of the movie Dirty Work. What are all these dead hookers doing in these trucks?
There's hookers in every one of these trunks.
Whoa, look at all these giants. Who would have known?
I love Dirty Work.
That movie is so funny.
Classic. And this is even after Hull publicly admitted that both of them were hoaxes. But a year after the solid Muldoon, a hotel owner at Lake Cuyahoga, back in New York, was able to pull the same scam until one of the guys who helped bury it let the secret slip while he was drunk at the bar one night.
God.
Gotta have your guys keep quiet, man.
They have to keep quiet. I just don't understand how they don't realize the money is in the secret. You blow the secret, you just cost yourself your entire living.
I wonder if there's just a way to you can't trust anybody. You don't know what anybody's going to do. But I mean, it's like you got to get information on them.
There is a way, Henry. 3 men can share a secret if 2 of them are dead.
Yeah! Well, that's just one. That's just one man. And then that one guy gets hammered at the bar and tells everyone.
Well, you just never tell anybody the secret. I really do believe that. I think that if you're the head of the scam, you hold the burden of being the only one with the full line of knowledge. And you keep everybody in your life at arm's length until the scam is over. You don't let any fucking person know. You have to have the strength to keep a lockdown on your own mind and hire each person separately. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah, but I think it's just not in human nature. They want the reaction.
They do.
People need to feel as if they've pulled something over on someone. And you're only going to know that if you tell a few people.
Yeah.
Occult teachings show us how people are always thirsty for that which is behind the veil. The idea that there is, like the esoteric schools, they talk about how there is one layer of learning, which is taking information you get as face value, but then there's always deeper and deeper levels where you look at it and be like, what is it? How is it symbolically? How is it culturally? What does it mean to me astrologically?
And if you want any greater example than that, put a bra on your male friend, and you tell me you don't want to see his titties. Guarantee you that you will. Guarantee.
If you put my tits,
I will look at them. I would want to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
No, I agree. Amazingly, the scam then had another resurgence back in Colorado. It's just Colorado and New York State trading off.
I love it.
It's like a fucking COVID.
Yep.
In Colorado, a con man named Soapy Smith commissioned and buried a concrete giant that he nicknamed McGinty in a town called Creed.
Yeah, you'll never see the giant like my McGinty. McGinty's only 4 feet tall.
That's a pretty
They call me
small
Soapy,
giant.
which is funny. They call me Soapy, which is funny because I'm covered with dirt.
Soapy, I mean, he was the guy in Creed when it came to cons. He had a whole
you
army.
need a giant? You need a giant? You want an eagle? I can get you an eagle 2 seconds. I could just, you know what I do is I just tape wings to a rat. That's your eagle right there.
Well, he had pretty much had a stranglehold over all the vice in town. Like, he controlled all the pickpockets, he controlled all the card games, all the numbers, and then figured, I'm going to get into the giant game here.
Wow, he's like Shredder.
But by the time the scientific community showed up to verify Soapy's claim, both he and McGinty had skipped town. And Soapy
literally skipped out of town.
I guess I just slipped through their fingers again. Old Soapy can't get a grip.
It must have been weird traveling with all those banjo players.
And Soapy, unfortunately, met his end 6 years later when he was gunned down in the streets of Skagway, Alaska.
What did he do in Skagway, Alaska to get gunned down? Something he definitely deserved to get gunned down for.
I tell you what, I thought I was safe when I moved out of Horseville, but I guess I found my death in Skagway.
Sounds like it's out of Borderlands.
But Soapy was among the last to make a solid dollar from the petrified giant game.
Oh.
Whereas Barnum had supposedly offered $20,000 for the solid Muldoon, petrified men were going for no more than $1,000 by the 1890s. Still a fucking good sum of money, but a large drop from 20,000 from just a few years earlier. Market fell out.
Saturated the market. Too many giants.
Mm-hmm. As far as the fate of the Cardiff giant went, it ended up in a barn in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, and did make an appearance at a state fair in Buffalo in 1901.
Okay.
But gained little attention compared to the crowds the petrified giant had once drawn.
Oh, but I'm sure there was still amazement in the eyes of children.
Yeah.
Which is true. Because if I was a kid, I would look at it and I'd be like, damn, even if it is just rock, and I know it would be rock, I'd be like, it's a lot of rock.
It's 10 feet tall.
It's 10 feet, that's a lot of rock.
I'm interested in seeing it now.
Yeah.
I want to see it more because of the story.
Absolutely.
Dude, next time you come to New York, you can see it.
Okay. Ooh. Where is it?
Well, a newspaper publisher in Des Moines owned the giant throughout most of the first half of the 20th century, but it eventually made its way back to New York State when it was bought in 1947 by the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, where you can still go see it in the main barn to this day.
Dude, I didn't know that there was a farmer's museum. I am going.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool.
They got cows and shit.
That's a fun idea, man. That is a really, really fun idea. I feel like we should go up there, man. When next time I'm in town, we should go up to Coopersville. Isn't that also where the baseball shit is?
That's where the Hall of Fame
that's Cooperstown.
No, Cooperstown?
It's Cooperstown, right?
Where's
Yeah,
the
it's all
Baseball
same.
Hall of Fame?
Cooperstown. They're both in Cooperstown. You got the
Where was
Baseball Hall of
basketball
Fame.
Where's the one in Columbus? Cleveland has the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Basketball Hall of Fame is in Massachusetts. It's upstate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's in
Okay, you want to take the 4 train, that's going to take you right down to Bowling Green.
You're going to want to take the 185 up, and you're going to want to go up to take the metro up to Westchester.
Yep.
And if, in case you're wondering, the Sugaring Off Sundays pancake breakfast, usually held at the Farmers Museum, canceled until further notice, but they promised to return.
They better return.
Be fucking better. I want that pancake breakfast.
Yes. Oh, because they have sausages too. It's not just pancakes. They get you in the door with the pancakes, but they get you out the door when you got the sausage shits.
We've already talked about my obsession with pancakes, and I got to start making some good old-fashioned big fluffy pancakes in my home.
Flapjacks,
We've been
baby.
eating a lot of protein pancakes because those are the ones Natalie eats because she's trying to stay trim.
Henry, were you the one that got pissed off when you when you finally figured out why they're called pancakes?
No.
Was that you, Ben?
No. I would assume they're called pancakes because they're cooked on a pan.
Yes.
And they're kind of cakey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can figure that
doesn't
out.
make me. That's exactly what I expected. When I hear the name pancake, when I get a pancake, that's what I expect. Yeah.
Now you tell me waffle. You give me the waffle word. I couldn't tell you why the fuck they call that goddamn thing a waffle. I'd call it a fucking bunch of goddamn carb holes.
I love my carb holes, but the first thing is being like, oh, you're gonna give me waffle. What are you gonna give me? Some kind of Democrat?
Oh, you got it good, man. I love that. That's a good flip flop joke. Flim flam.
Swift boating.
It's 2004. It is a 16-year-old reference, and we are speaking to an audience right now, some of which are under the age of 48.
John Kerry, the only man I've ever believed in. I said, he's the only one. If only he could save us right now. That long-faced fucking. Oh, God, what an ugly piece of shit.
Did that horseman get me excited in 2004?
I feel the same excitement now.
Wow, I really do. What an excitement. I am trembling to go to the polls.
Trembling. And that's the story of the Cardiff Giant. And
awesome, the Cardiff Giant.
And all the giant hoaxes that came afterward.
So what did we learn? Number one, you can never trust P.T. Barnum. He's going to undercut you. If he gives you $1 million, take the goddamn money.
Never trust P.T. Barnum.
Just take the money. Just take the money. P.T. Barnum's trying to get in your business, and let him have your business. We now know this, but it's too late now.
If a person that you're speaking with that you want to keep a secret even looks at alcohol, that person cannot keep a secret.
No.
Definitely not. And
anybody named after a person who's gotten an amputee shit done to you.
Yep.
You can't be called Stubbs.
No.
And be trusted with a fucking secret.
I think the most important lesson here is that spite is the best motivator in the universe.
That's entirely possible. Very true. I miss this time. I miss this time, though, this time period where the imagination really was going wild in America.
Yeah.
There were people were the only reason this worked is because people were right there thinking giants might be real.
Yep.
And all they needed was just a rock monster to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our imagination is going wild, but it's getting people outside of cell phone towers shot because they think the 5G bullshit's giving us all the super flu.
Yep.
So that's where the imagination is going, where I'd much rather it go back into building fake giants.
I agree.
Let's stage some Mothman sightings. Let's stage some giant pterosaur sightings. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
These are the type of things that gets the creative juices of our country going and, inspires people to look to the sky.
You know what I'm going to say right now? Put chicken feathers on a pig, you got a chicken pig. Now, if you tell me behind this curtain is a chicken pig, $5, chicken pig,
What?
You have $15 coming, my friend, because I'm going 3 fucking times.
What a sweet and simple world we'd be in if Kissel was our creator god.
Yep,
It would
chicken
just be
pig.
women would have beer in their breasts and in their uteruses. Men would have beer in their cocks.
I don't know if I would want a baby marinating in beer while in the womb. It might not create the greatest.
Nick Nolte's doing great.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, there it is, the Cardiff Giant, a good extension from our Giant Humanoid series.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Parks,
of course,
for bringing that story to all of our attention. And it gives us all hope. If you're a small business person out there and you have no idea what you want to do, make something up. People will pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
so,
that's what we did.
That's what we did.
That's what just happens. But so, guys, go out there. And speaking of that, check out lastpodcastlive.com. Check out our live show. It's a fun romp. I miss performing live. Can't fucking wait to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been sending all these pictures of Kissel of us performing on stage. It's been so nice to see them again. I miss it so bad. But check out lastpodcastlive.com. Check out lastpodcastmerch.com. We got all new merch. We're fielding your requests. If you got any ideas for more merch, we're trying to get more grinders in there. Heard that already. Check it out. 6.66% of all proceeds goes to One Fair Wage. We're just giving our first I think we just gave them $15K. I think we're going to be, we're still doing it. So just
absolutely.
Do it. Do it.
Absolutely. Keep on supporting all the shows here, too. We got No Dogs in Space for all your music inquiries.
Yep. Misfits coming next week.
Very cool. Abling its Top Hat Politics, Page 7 Entertainment, Kind of Fun Wrestling, Nerdy Stuff, Whizbrew. We're filling out the whole Trivial Pursuit pie here, and hopefully we have some kind of football show coming up in the very near future.
Let's hope so.
As a matter of fact, if you're a former football player and you're listening to this right now, I know we have a huge former football player contingency, mostly because of the CTE. They think we're very funny.
Yes.
Hey, hit me up. Hit me up. I'm looking for a host. Looking for a co-host.
Yeah. If we got any XFL players out there.
Oh, I love XFL.
I love XFL. It was so much fun to watch it for that brief period.
Speaking of flim flam, man, Vince McMahon is the P.T. Barnum of our time.
Yeah,
he really is.
I would put him in there.
Yes,
but he really delivers a product, though.
Yes, he does. They have giants as well, and they're real live giants. I mean, they can barely move, and they die young, but they are giants.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum, he produced products.
What?
Mirth.
Isn't
mirth
that
and merriment.
But is mirth?
Is anything more valuable than a smile?
Yeah.
Money. Just everything.
You're right.
Gold, silver. I would
correct.
say even breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
Anything that gives you anything else.
I've been proved wrong. I've been proved wrong soundly.
All right, everyone.
And also, don't forget to, if you haven't got The Last Book on the Left
Yes.
yet, you go to IndieBound and order it. And a lot of local bookstores are doing a curbside pickup right now, so be sure to support your local bookstores. And thank you, everyone, so much for the support. We've done a full fucking month now on the New York Times bestseller list. So thank you guys so much for supporting us throughout it. It's overwhelming. It means a lot for you guys to support us like this.
They do not want us there. And it's just really awesome to be there. We beat Glenn Beck. He stopped buying his own books.
Yep.
So we have beat him.
He fell off after 3 weeks of bulk buying. a whole fucking tree is now sitting in Glenn Beck's fucking garage.
You can also buy his jeans for $200. So you can have a mom butt just like him.
There's nothing I want to be is closer than to Glenn Beck's ass.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope everyone is doing all right out there. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Hail Ging.
Let's do a Magustalations.
Yeah, okay. You can do one of those.
Yeah, you can do it.
Magustalations, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What?
I mean, yeah, sure.
We have no reason to not.
What if we just go bury me?
I mean, we might as well while we can, right?
We should go bury me, tell people there's a buried giant, but I'll have a little breathing hole like Moses did with the reed, and then I'll kill them.
Fuck yeah, dude. This just sound like your sexual fantasies, but I'll be a part of it. This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Breathe in. Feel the sense of calm that comes from having up to $300 in overdraft protection with GoToBank. Now,
Did you say $300?
yes. Now, back to our breathing.
So if I overspend my balance, GoToBank has my back up to $300.
Yes. Can we breathe out now? Less worries, more zen with over $300 in overdraft protection. Tap to open an account today. Eligible direct deposits and opt-in required for overdraft protection. Fees, terms, and conditions apply.
You wouldn't take financial advice from a 72 hours in a single day alpha influencer, would you? Same goes if you're in a car accident or any accident. Who you choose matters. That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. They're the largest injury law firm in America, and they've built a reputation by actually winning cases, not just talking about it. Over 1,000 lawyers across all 50 states and $30 billion recovered. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast.